Birmingham Zoo is officially exhuming 12 to 15 bodies located on the property. After approval from the state, the zoo has been given permission to move the bodies elsewhere and build a cougar exhibit where they are now. The zoo says a storyboard detailing the history of the bodies and a monument will be placed in their stead. The bodies will also get their own burial boxes and memorial services. However, these aren't the only bodies that have been discovered underneath the zoo, the Botanic Gardens, Lane Park, or this area of Mountainbrook. Over 4,700 people, some in unmarked graves, once laid here. Some of them are still found underneath the soil. And you're probably wondering how and why they got there, and why some are still there. Well, I got you covered. Here is their history. If you've ever been to the Birmingham Zoo, the Botanical Gardens, or Mountainbrook's Lane Park, then what you may not know is that you've literally walked over people's graves. Because this area was once a massive cemetery. Over 4,700 people were buried there. Back when about 200 acres of this land was known as the Southside Cemetery or Red Mountain Cemetery. This area was known for the burial of the poor, or those who came from what was known as pest houses, which is where people were quarantined when they had communicable diseases such as tuberculosis. Burials began in the 1880s and stopped around 1905, or 1906 depending on who you ask. And because the cemetery was set aside for the poor, there were very crude markers to show where people were actually buried. After 1905, this land became a couple of different things. One of them was Lane Park, named after Mayor Lane. Another one was the Allen Gray Fish Hatchery. There was also a stone quarry, a baseball field, and a golf driving range. And now those graves can be found up under the zoo, the Botanical Gardens, Lane Park, and also some houses in Mountainbrook. When the Dunformal Rose Garden in the Botanical Gardens was being created, they found at least 3 graves, and a litany of other items. That includes shoelaces, fasteners, and broken bottles. Records of some of those buried can still be found today. Both the Botanical Gardens and the zoo have owned this part of their history. And even though we can't change the past, what we can do if we visit these places is respect the land that we're walking on.